What's up guys, Panic here, otherwise known as Panic Picnic, and I actually want to talk about something that I think is one of the most broken spells for the Protection Paladin at this moment. And the reason why I think it's the most broken spell at this moment is because I've only run a few island expeditions with it, and I've noticed something quite odd. Like I said, this might only be broken in very certain instances with the Protection Paladin, and the main reason why it's broken is because, it relies on, basically a line that we find a lot of in these azurite traits. Is your spells and abilities have a chance to release a barrage of lasers, dealing da-da-da, like. It's basically, like I said, it's your spells and abilities have a chance. And the reason why I think that this is pretty broken is because Paladins have a talent at level 60 called Retribution Aura. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I'll be more than happy to definitely edit and retract my statement. But when you activate Retribution Aura, it says you and your allies within 60 yards are protected by an aura that lashes out against any melee attackers dealing like X holy damage. Now, typically this is thought to be one of the worst talents for a Protection Paladin because the damage is absolute garbage. Most people would just pick Cavalier, like Divine Steed now has 2 charges, or the Blessing of Spell Warding to just make, granted it does remove the protection aspect, but it basically prevents you from taking any magic damage. I mean, oops, sorry, prevents you from taking any magic damage or even on your target, and that's pretty nice. But like I said, I went into an island expedition and I put on Retribution Aura because I was like, hey, I'm going to be attacked a lot by melee attacks, and even though I'm going to be doing a lot of spells, I'm going to be taking a lot of damage and whatnot, and I need to move, I'm just going to just try it out and just to see how it is. Like I said, I noticed in my interaction that I would constantly trigger Laser Matrix when I was just getting on my mount. I would just get on my mount and I would run and I would just go in and I would just try to pull mobs, like try to pull as many mobs as possible. Like I wasn't attacking, I wasn't blocking, and I was watching the the target. I was watching the overall target, and here, let me see if I can get it to trigger. But see, it's like, hold on, I'm doing 81. See, look, like it triggers by itself. So even though, look, I'm not attacking them, I'm not attacking these guys at all. You'll see instances, and look, I'm obviously facing away from them. I'm not blocking. You'll see instances where I do a very large amount of damage to them. Give me a second. Come on, trigger one more time for me. Wait, no! Trigger! It triggered once before! Oh, this guy's ruining the game! You're ruining it! It'll trigger it. But, anyways, you'll see instances, like there's instances where it did, like you saw earlier, that it did trigger and I did do a large amount of damage to them. Obviously there is an internal cooldown. Most likely especially on this spell right here, but on other spells like maybe like Razan's Fury and everything else that you want to do for damage, like you don't need to actually spam your spells. The Retribution Aura does all of that for you. So technically, you can actually trigger in a lot more of your abilities. The reason why I think this is pretty important, and the reason why I think it could be, like I said, kind of broken, is it can definitely help you out with leveling experience as a Protection Paladin, especially when you hit 120 and you need more damage. It can also help if you want to do like raids or anything, and you just want to try to do more of like a damage style, or if you want to do, or if you need some abilities that really do need to trigger. Like I said, I did only just recently receive this, but if there's like an ability, like I said, that increases your mastery and haste, I believe it would even trigger on trinkets, that if it's like for even one like, let's see, well, like your spells and abilities have a chance to increase your primary stat. Like if it triggers the Laser Matrix, it would most likely trigger everything else. It would help you trigger with trinkets. It would help you trigger all of that. And I think that that's pretty important. Is that it can help you get those haste buffs. It can help you activate your trinkets that are for spells and abilities. And I think that's going to be pretty good, and I think it's really good for the Protection Paladin. I'm not sure if this is intended, and I'm not sure if this is fully known yet. But like I said, make sure to check it out. I think it works, as you saw earlier, with a little bit of laser matrix targeting. That being said, my name is Panic Picnic. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Bye.